What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another week, another episode of The Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Marvel Rivals making all characters available from the beginning is a huge win, even from a business perspective. This comes from Fandom Wire. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about an article coming from PC Gamer called Marvel Rivals Dev Conduct an Exhaustive Research to come up with with the game's roster of heroes, the abilities, so it could live up to the exceptionally high players' expectations. We're also going to talk about Rocksteady reportedly working on a single-player Batman game while Monolith Productions' Wonder Woman is in trouble. We'll talk about that. And then there was a survey. We love our surveys here. Okay. New survey reveals that almost 80% of developers don't test their games enough before launch. What? No way. I've never heard that before. But these are the topics that we're going to be talking about today. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing this weekend? Did you guys watch the Super Bowl? Did you fall asleep like I did during the halftime show? I know some of you guys are Kendrick Lamar fans, but I tried. I was just like, raise the volume. My son, who was 10, was like, I don't understand what he's saying. I'm like, I don't understand what he's saying. I'm a boomer, but I couldn't understand him. I had to watch a decryptic message afterwards of somebody on Twitter or X explain to me what it all meant. So we did that, and that was more entertaining than the actual halftime show. The game was actually pretty good. I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, it was a blowout, but it was good, you know. So there's that. Let me see what you guys are saying. What's going on, Titan? What's going on, Good Papa, Wonder Rose, Travis, Eclipse, Drummond, Roadkill, Big Mo. Let's see. Did I say Roic already? I said Roic. Argus, good morning. Kylo. Jason, good morning. El Dente, good morning. El Nini, what's going on? Travis says, 30, don't forget that we need to hear your story about when they made a super complex and you solved it easy. Oh, right. So we were talking yesterday. Me and Travis were talking a little bit in the general chat. We were talking, I forget how it came up, how companies love to make things complex, right? So I was on a movie set one day, and I just got there. I flew in to Texas just to work on this like horror flick. And while I showed up, my buddy was working on the film. He was one of the producers, and he brought me in as like one of the camera guys. And they were all sitting around in a meeting, and they couldn't figure it out. They're like, brought a person in to do like CGI. And the shot was, there was a shot where you're taking a pair of scissors, and they were stabbing it into a thigh, like a leg, to get away because it's a horror flick or whatever. So the girl was supposed to turn around and stab somebody in the thigh so she can get away. And they couldn't figure out. They're like, maybe if we do CGI and we do all this, and they were all doing all this. I said, why don't you just get a meat? And they're like, what? I'm like, a roast. Get a roast from the supermarket. Shove it into a pair of pants. Get a close-up of it, and then have her just jab the scissors into the roast. I said, and afterwards we could eat it. And they were like, that's fucking brilliant. I go, I know. Yeah, that's how something that takes so simple and yet they make it so complex, Travis, right? So they love trying to make things complex and so complicated and do all this, and all you had to do, right, was just get a piece of meat and just stab it. Because it's cheaper. Yeah, it's production though, Titan. You get the high end stuff, so the production crew gets to eat. Come on. You gotta think. All right? That's what you gotta do. All right, let's see here. Flip says, no, let's see. Water Bear is making fun of that. Kylo says, I like rap, and the halftime show was terrible. I didn't play anything older, which is disappointing as well. Yeah, I'm okay with rap. I couldn't understand him. Eclipse says, well, Drake shouldn't have had started it. Don't talk about someone who can't rap, can't take the heat. See, I don't know the whole beef going on and whatnot. Jason says, I couldn't play Rivals, so I finished Final Fantasy VII. El Dente says, go Birds. Oh, that's right, you're up in the Philadelphia area. Congratulations to the Philadelphia fans. I made a rap song. I made a rap song that you could understand. You can hear it in our Discord in the general. It's to celebrate the Eagles winning, and I'm not even the Eagles fan. I was like, let me make something. What's going on, Worlds? Defense wins Super Bowls, though, Water. Defense wins Super Bowls, man. Ask Tom Brady. A little bit of defense, lots of luck. That's all you need. El Dente says, Ziploc bag with some fake blood and boom, ruin the roast. Now, you can use what's it called? All we needed to show was the knife going in or the scissors going in. So we didn't ruin the roast. We just jabbed the roast. And even if they did ruin the roast, I mean, it's for a movie. It wasn't for actual food. I'll tell you what, though, El Dente, it was much cheaper to do that than CGI. Effects in a camera are much cheaper and much more efficient than CGI. Let's see what you guys here. Oh yeah, the Giants defense back then was great. My favorite part of the Super Bowl was the last like 7 minutes, and the announcer asked Tom Brady about how the Chiefs feel in this moment, and he had to reminisce his times. He's like, "It's been 17 years since I lost against the Giants," and that made me feel so good. I was like, "This is the greatest Super Bowl ever." Tom Brady has to talk about his 2 losses. You can take that trash down now, 30. Oh, off of the in the Discord? Yeah, we'll leave it up. There were some good commercials. There were some weird ass commercials yesterday. Like, what's the deal with the seal as a seal? Like, is that even like relevant? Is seal relevant in 2025? I was so confused by a lot of them. Yeah, there was a couple weird the whipped cream one, right? The whipped cream one with the tongues. I was like, what is happening? It's such a boomer joke. Yeah, I was just like, what is happening with? I was like, seal. I was like, he's not relevant. Oh, the flesh head cowboy. I was like, what is that too? That was a Tubi commercial? I mean, I guess they work, right? You're remembering it, right? You remember them, like the crazy ones. The Matt Damon one with David Beckham was pretty good, and then the Dunkin' Donuts one with Ben Affleck and the gangs that was a little weird. Oh yeah, El Dente, that was a good one. The Bud Light one, your mower cooks meat, and the smoker cuts grass. The meat was burnt on that on that. So some of them were good, some of them were funny, some of them were ridiculous. I didn't see that one. The Kanye commercial with him as a dentist. I didn't see that one. I don't remember that one at all. Oh, okay. So here's a funny thing that I noticed yesterday, right? And I did make a mistake yesterday, and Travis did point it out because I thought the How to Train Your Dragon was a Disney film, but regardless, it's still funny to me because they showed the Thunderbolts, right? They showed a bunch of Disney trailers. They advertised the Lilo and Stitch live action. They did the Thunderbolts. They never showed Captain America and the Brave New World, which I thought was pretty hilarious, considering the movie comes out in like 5 days, right? It comes out in like 4 days. I think it's like Thursday, like 4 days, and they didn't show it at all at the Super Bowl. You would think in some way, shape, or form, Disney was like, hey, you know what? Our newest movie that comes out 4 days from now, okay, is coming out, and they didn't show a single frame of Captain America Brave New World. That's all you need to tell me. That alone, okay? No, it's not Pixar, it's DreamWorks, Jones. Right? Yeah, they got no Super Bowl ad money. They showed Lilo and Stitch. They did Thunderbolts a couple of times. They had other movies they were promoting, but Thunderbolts is in May, right? Fantastic Four. They didn't even show Fantastic Four because that's in July. Okay. But Captain America is 4 days from now. They know they're not making money on that. That's a lost cause. They're like, nah, we're not spending that much money on it. We're not going to make our money back. And that should tell you all you need to know about Captain America and the Brave New World. So much show. Okay. Remember the other day we were talking about how Disney loves the virtual signal. Okay. Loves the virtual signal. Altern posted this in the Discord last night. And I thought this was funny. Okay. Because I pointed this out a couple of weeks ago about how they shrink people on posters and whatnot. Okay, this right here is what they did. Here, let me open this up on a new tab. Okay, this is in China. Okay, this is in China. If you guys can't really see it, I don't know if I can get any bigger. Okay, yeah. Do you notice something weird? You notice something weird about this? There's something weird about this. Now, Disney's the one that tells you that you're sexist, racist, and misogynistic when you don't like something. But something's off about this. I see the Red Hulk, but who is he fighting? Who is he fighting? I can't see. It almost looks like they took him off of the poster. Where's Anthony Mackie? Where is Anthony Mackie? Where is he? That's a silhouette of nobody. That is a silhouette of nobody. But I'm sure it's all in our heads. I'm sure it's all in our heads. I'm sure Disney is not like that in any way, shape, or form. And they like you. They love you. Corporations love you. Is that Red Hulk versus Red America? Yeah. Yeah. Silhouette America. El Dente says, oh, it's made by EA. You have to pay to unlock the character skin on the poster. That's it. That's exactly right. I'll give you 2 points. 2 points for El Dente for that. So ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that you have to... Yeah, corporations love your money, but they don't really give a shit about you. Eclipse, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Here, let me bring it back up. I'll tell you what. It doesn't even look like Anthony Mackie's silhouette. It looks like Chris Evans. It doesn't even look like the right silhouette. It looks like Chris Evans as Captain America. It's amazing. Like, come on now. Come on now. Is he even in that movie over there? Yeah, Anthony Mackie's not in there, yeah. Travis says, in China, he's played by William Shatner. Wouldn't that be insane? Not William Shatner, but could you imagine if the movie was completely remade and they took him out of the movie and put a separate person in the movie just for China? I'll tell you what, I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him. I would not would have passed it. Speaking of companies that absolutely are just going up in flames. Not that Disney's going up in flames because they're just not too big to fail, but they have a lot of, we talked about this last week, one movie and they're good. Okay. But the first story I want to talk about is Rocksteady reportedly working on a single player Batman game. Monolith Productions, also Wonder Woman, is in trouble. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just cover news stories, have conversations, give you my thoughts and opinions, and I get your thoughts and opinions on the article as well. They're coming after me. Yeah, the premium audio, Akuta Papa. All right, so let me start over here. Rocksteady reportedly working on a single-player Batman game. Monolith Productions. Wonder Woman's also in trouble. If you like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, I give you my thoughts and opinions on the article, and then I ask you guys about your thoughts and opinions on the article. So give that like, hit that subscribe, and if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. All right, so Rocksteady reportedly working on a single-player Batman game, and Monolith Productions' Wonder Woman is in trouble. Now, when Suicide Squad got announced, everybody was asking for, the Batman game. We want the other Batman game. This is not our Batman game, right? Gotham Knights came out before even Suicide Squad. Gotham Knights is like, this is not the Batman game. It's not the Batman game we asked for. Suicide Squad came out. They're like, this is not the Batman game we asked for. Well, here you go. Rocksteady reportedly working on a single-player Batman game, and this could be your Batman game that you've been asking for, but I wouldn't hold your breath. Okay. On top of that, Monolith Productions' Wonder Woman is in trouble. So a new report has shed some light on the turmoil of Warner Brothers games while providing an update on the various projects in the works as a developer. So Bloomberg Jason Schreier has reported a concern about the upcoming slate of games from Warner Brothers Gaming following the exit of Chief David Haddad. Right, the company has had a trouble of 12 months, first with catastrophic releases of Rocksteady, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and then disappointing release of Smash Brothers style brawler multiverses. Well, first of all, they made the problems with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. They made the problems with multiverses. Imagine multiverses when it came out back in 2022 to 2023. It was a smash hit. Okay? It was received so well. People were loving it, and they're like, nope, we're taking it down for the next year, and they went off the air from 23 to 24. Come back 24, and they made it a worse game than it was before it left. So that's what they did for that. Okay? So Warner Bros. Discovery has said that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League failure contributes to $200 million. Okay? $200 million. And Multiverse added another $100 million on top of that. Now, Warner Brothers Games' only other recent releases was Harry Potter Quidditch Championship, which also failed dramatically, which failed to make an impression. Speaking of financial call, Warner Brothers Discovery President, CEO David Zaslav, said that he recognizes the game's business is subtly underperforming in potential right now. First of all, can I just back up a little bit to this section here? It says it contributed to a $200 million hit into the business, and Multiverses added another $100 million on top of that. Do they not take into account the money they made back from all the people they stole $100 from and still haven't put enough characters into Multiverses? Because there was a lot of people that played that game when it came out. It says, since then, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League post-launch content has come to an end with the delivery for its year one roadmap, and Warner Bros. Has announced its impending closure of Multiverses. Okay, so Rocksteady, meanwhile, has suffered significant layoffs, and there's also a question marks over Mortal Kombat 1's financial performance. Although NetherRealm's chief, Ed Boon, recently announced that over 5 million sales has teased future DLC following the release of the T-1000 Terminator guest character. And during the same financial call, Zaslav and Warner Brothers was doubling down just for 4 games. Hogwarts Legacy, a sequel, has already in the works. Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, and DC, in particular, of Batman. Okay, we are focused on developing efforts for those core franchises and studios to improve the success ratios, Zaslav added. He says, but it may also have time before fans see the results of the work. Bloomberg had Monolith Productions, a Wonder Woman game, is in trouble after reportedly rebooting and switching director earlier last year. It's already cost more than $100 million and still years away from release, Bloomberg said. Okay, so Wonder Woman that they announced, 2-3 years ago, got rebooted last year. Director left. completely switched the game from what it was to what it is now, which supposedly it was the Nemesis system that was going to be in there, right? It says Monolith reimagining Nemesis system and developed his much loved Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor. That would be Wonder Woman's befriending enemies has been ditched in favor of more traditional action adventure. Its fate remains in question. This toss up red flags galore. Okay, lots of games. Look, again, I always talk from a movie standpoint compared to a video game standpoint. It's not a one-to-one, but it's very similar. If I'm making a movie and I write the script and we film the whole entire movie, and then all of a sudden we decide to change it, it makes it a completely different movie. Completely different movie. It changes the whole dynamics of it, and it's just that little change could make it a success or an absolute failure. If you ever have to go back and make something, it's probably not 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work out. Okay? Lots of games. Skull and Bones went back to the drawing board 4 times. Anthem went back 3 times. Destiny went back a couple times. Okay? They just Destiny is a weird one, right? Destiny's the outlier, I guess you could say. Right? But they did it in 13 months, then fixed it over 10 years to market it towards the right way. But nonetheless, when they do a reboot in the movies, they changed Sonic, right? Sonic was, the whole movie was done, but they just had to go back and fix Sonic because he looked ugly as hell during Sonic 1. They fixed that, made the movie much better. Now they've got 2 sequels, multi-million dollars, very successful, already announced the 4th movie. Okay, if they kept ugly Sonic, do you think we would have a 4th movie coming out? Probably not, right? So that's one way of saying that it worked out in their favor because they changed the fundamental of what the character was, the way he looked, but not the story plot. Wonder Woman, Skull and Bones, what's other ones that came out that completely rebooted themselves? Oh, Gotham Knights was also like a redid stuff. Okay, never turn out to be good, and this is yet another problem with WB Games. They start something, they bring it out, they're not too sure about it, they put it back, and then they start screwing with it, and they start ruining it. So hopefully, Wonder Woman comes out, and it's that standard action adventure. I don't know how I said this last night. I don't know how you don't make God of War-esque type of game, but with Wonder Woman, right? Third person action game. Want to make it like a movie game, whatever. Okay. God of War's recipe, template, whatever. Wonder Woman. That's all you need. And people would be okay with that because if they're Wonder Woman fans, they would be like, this is awesome, right? That's what you need. So it says Monolith reimagined Nemesis system and developed much love of the Middle Earth. We read that. Gotham Knights developer WB Games Montreal, meanwhile, pitched a John Constantine game, but it was also never approved. How? I feel like, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Firefly. Cade 6. Philip, Nathan, not Nathan Drake. Jesus Christ. He's in the new Superman movie. He's the new Green Lantern. Nathan Fillion? Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah, thank you, Titan. Right? It's like, how does WB screw stuff up so bad? Gotham Knights developer Montreal is like, yeah, we want to pitch a Constantine game. They're like, nah, we don't want that. Okay, we'll just put Constantine in Fortnite. We're good. A Flash game was scrapped after the DCU Flash film bombed. Again, a Flash game, I think, would have done pretty damn well instead of scrapping it because the movie was shit. If that was the case, how come Borderlands 4 is coming out? Because we all know Borderlands, the movie, bombed so bad it was one of the worst movies ever created. One doesn't hurt the other. One can stand on its own because there's hundreds of comic books of the Flash and television shows and cartoons. And like, there's so much around the Flash. I can't imagine because the movie bombed. And the movie bombed because of many different things. It bombed because James Gunn said that those movies don't matter anymore. It bombed because the actor was in a weird like lawsuit and whatnot. It bombed because Zack Snyder got canned and none of that mattered anymore. So there was a lot of reasons that Flash movie sucked, okay? But to remove the game because the movie sucked is a little weird, okay? It says it's now helping out with other games, and it's also reportedly working on a pitch of a new Game of Thrones game. Well, we know there's another Game of Thrones game, so I guess that's a pro, even though Game of Thrones is nowhere to be found now because the show's done. Hogwarts Legacy developer Avalanche is now officially working on the new content of Hogwarts Legacy as well as a sequel. Okay, fans and Rocksteady. Let me go back to the Hogwarts thing real fast. I've said from the very start that Hogwarts Legacy seemed like it had some live service elements in the game when you're inside the your room where you can do all the potions and stuff like that, and it looks like they ripped it out. I said that game probably should have been a live service game because it was the Harry Potter like light MMO it could have been. So much so that people actually put an MMO or multiplayer mode in there through mods. And now they took out the Quidditch mode to sell you a different Quidditch game, which failed miserably. Okay, and now they're building a sequel, which will probably be a live service game, heavily monetized microtransaction game moving forward. And if that's the case, then WB is missing the point because Hogwarts Legacy was a success on its own, and now they're going to try to probably wedge in something that probably shouldn't be there since it was there originally, took it out, was successful, and now they're going to wedge it back in. But we'll see. The upshot is that Warner Brothers Games has, according to Bloomberg, refreshed version of Hogwarts Legacy, a Lego game, and a few mobile games in the works for the next 2 years. Okay, so once again, WB seems like the executives don't know what they have or what they're doing. Someone should get fired. I mean, I know Haddad's gone, okay, but I don't think he was the main source of all these problems. It seems like WB just doesn't understand the IPs they have. It doesn't understand the DC comics, doesn't understand the Harry Potter franchise, doesn't understand pretty much anything they're working on. They just kind of sit there, put $100 million, put $200 million into something, and then kind of scrap it afterwards because they're like, oh, it just didn't sell very well. That's because you didn't give us anything that was the actual thing. Gave us a Suicide Squad game, I think you would have been good. But instead, they gave us a microtransaction, hell, Kill 13 Brainiac Suicide Squad game, which wasn't the thing. They gave us Quidditch outside of Hogwarts Legacy, where they could have put the Quidditch inside of Hogwarts Legacy. What else? The multiverses. I already went off on a rant about this. I have a video on it where they had all of these IPs and yet they did absolutely nothing with it. And then they're going to blame it on the people going, well, you know, it's fine that you're upset, but no death threats, even though they don't show death threats. But let me know what you guys think, right? Is WB done? Does it matter if Wonder Woman comes out? Is it going to be successful enough to get WB out of the hole? I don't think they just need one hit. They need like 3, 4, 5 hits. And I just don't know if the people in charge of the WB can pull it through, especially when you're canning a Flash game. They'll probably bring an Aquaman game before they make a Superman game or a Flash game. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And if you like what I do here, check out some other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me scroll back up. Waterbear says, something tells me that Wonder Woman game has never existed. The Wonder Woman trailer was part of a Batman single-player game. We never got anything other than what we saw from the Wonder Woman game. Waterbear says also, all of a sudden, that we're also a single-player Batman game. Yep, it's coming back out. We'll see it in like 4 or 5 years. Jason says, WB is so garbage now. They've ruined all the golden gooses. I don't get it, Jason. I mean, I just don't understand. How do you have so many IPs, so many characters, so many things you can do, and they're doing nothing with it? They're like, hey, there's a $20 billion industry over here in video games, and we just don't know how to market it. We just don't know how to get into it. Travis says, no Nemesis system equals no buy. Noob Tech Guy says, they had no choice but to make a Batman game, but if it doesn't come right, it will fail because you can make a Batman game you think will automatically be good. Arkham Origins comes to mind. Right. More pressure than ever before is going to be on this Batman game. And the Batman game, not saying that the people who are making the Batman game can't make as good of a Batman game as the ones that made it before, but Rocksteady is not the same company as it was when they made the original Batman game, right? And now because there's such a level of hype of, oh, great, they're making a single player Batman game. They got to nail it out of the park. It's got to be better than the original Batman now, not just a sequel to the Batman games. Travis says, red flag, my ass. This is a red ocean. Veilguard was a Veilguard was a reboot. Thank you. That's the other one I was thinking of. Dreadwolf and Veilguard. Veilguard was a reboot of Dreadwolf. Dreadwolf was there, then they rebooted it to Veilguard. It was supposed to be like a co-op game originally. In another interview, I heard Avowed was supposed to be a co-op game, and they changed it. Kylo says it's funny that they still use Ugly Sonic in that Chip and Dale movie. They still made money off of the asset because it became a meme, right? I mean, that is smart business, Kylo, right? So they saw they fucked up, they fixed it, and then they made themselves the meme and make money off of that. Let's see. Nathan Fillion. That's who I was trying to think of. I couldn't think of it at the moment. You said Nathan Dillion. Nice. What's going on, Sarge? They keep chasing and they cost too much money for them to make enough sales. Water Bear says, here's what I believe. WB is actually Hasbro. Warner Brothers slash Hasbro. Warner Brothers because they can't be this stupid. Yeah, no, they are. They're definitely this stupid. Al says, PSN needs to get it together. They get hacked too often. Well, I actually made a song about it when I looked up the data of when they got hacked. It's been quite a few years. I think it's a year and a half since the last major hack. It was like 2023, the last hack, I think it was. But I don't think this is a hack. This was a server down for some reason. They didn't really say why, but it is. Or why it was, I should say. Kylo says they're going to ruin the sequel. I can already see it. Oh, for Hogwarts? Yeah, maybe. Is the last multiverse update live? I want to download it for posterity. Yeah, I believe if you download it, you get to keep it, right? So anybody that downloads it right now up until it closes in May or May 4th or something like that, you can continue playing it afterwards. Kraken says WB is cooked. Travis says, 30, real question. If the WB goes bankrupt, do they have to release the Nemesis system? I answered this question yesterday in Discord. I'm not sure how that would work, Travis. If a company doesn't exist, how can someone claim to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're asking if WB that owns the right, if the whole company goes bankrupt and goes under, nobody owns that Nemesis system anymore. You know what I'm saying? If someone picked up the WB and then they would get that Nemesis system. Let's see. Isn't there a new Batman game being made? It needs to be a hit. Has to be a hit. It's got, not only does it have to be a hit, it has to be on par with the ones that came before it and then be better. Just got to be at least on par. Paul says it's a Lifeline game, and hopefully the game devs want to make it. Oh, you're saying Batman's a Lifeline game, Paul. Rowick says they need a lot of absolute bangers to recover from the last few years. They're like 50 billion in the hole or some shit like that. It's bad. WB isn't done. They just need the right ship. Not done. 50 billion. Hold on. Let me see what WB's in the hole for. Now, debt is good for certainly. They're 39 billion in debt. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 1 month ago, 50 billion in debt. 50 billion in debt. Noob says, ditching the Flash game was a big mistake. I think a proper Flash game is exactly what they needed. It might be also the best for the Scarlet Speedster. We will see what happens with Batman. Well, I'll tell you what. If a Flash game comes out, they'll be like, it's too fast. Flash is too fast. Who said that? Was that Destin? It was Destin, right? He said that the Flash was too fast and people gave him shit for it. Kraken says, I heard the PlayStation Network hackers put Concord on everyone's PlayStation. Is that true? Stop it. That can't be true. Is that true, Kraken? Paul Gaming says they let the system engineers go, and a day later they have PSN issues. Someone left a present. Oh, is that what happened? Is that what happened? They fired a bunch of people, and someone's like, "Well, I'll show you." That would be pretty funny. As long as they file a trademark, they still own it, I believe. Right, but what I'm saying is if the company went completely under, then nobody would own it. Even if they filed a trademark, if there's no company there to get the trademark, then how do you know what I mean? If someone wanted to use the Nemesis system, who's suing them? Now, if someone wants to buy the company and then take the trademark, they could do that. Pillock says, isn't there normally a limit on how long you can keep something? Yeah, it was 15 years, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because Warwind came out. Yeah, I think it's like 10 or 15 years, if I'm not mistaken. Al says, I feel like I have to do research to find out who works on these dev companies before I buy a game anymore. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to, you could. Let's see here. Flash game sounds boring, to be honest. I don't know if it sounds boring. I mean, if it's done correctly, I can't come up with something off the top of my head, but I'm trying to think of other games. Right? How is Sonic okay, but Flash would be bad? Right? Let me make a comparison there. Okay? Sonic runs fast, and he's got a whole story about him running fast. Okay? With the collecting the rings and the whole thing. So why would Flash be boring? We only have room for one speedster? The blue blur? And when you hit Super Seed, frames will drop, and they can't optimize the Flash. It's too fast. Maybe. They have to go down to 30 frames per second, and they'll do a blur effect. Roic says, with that much depth, one would think that it would also be hard for the cast for any movie. Not sure how they all works, but I also wouldn't want to work for a company with that much in the hole. Well, as an actor, and believe me, because I've worked for companies like that. Actually, I did work for Warner Brothers, but they pay their bills. But I don't know how they're paying their bill. They're all in debt, but I don't know how they're paying their bills. But I got my bill, right? I got my check, so I'm okay. Jason says, how have they not made a DC Ultimate Alliance type of game? That's because they're morons, Jason. That's why. Go on, dog. I heard Hogwarts. What did I miss? They're making a sequel, and they're probably going to make it a live service game. 15 years, and they did nothing with it. But they did do something with it. They stopped other people from doing something with it. That's what they did. Okay? They did nothing with it except hold it back, hold the video game industry back while they sat on it. And they're like, oh, we're going to make so much money off of this because people want to use this system and they'll pay us for it. And everyone's like, nah, we're good. We don't need that system. We'll just wait for it to go off, and then we'll use it later. Paul says, former senior designer technologist at the console maker claims that any other member of their team have been let go, and that was before the issue. Interesting. They've had a Titanic of the Bismarck and also the Arizona. They can't have another tragedy. Titan says, look at the director and the writers for the games and the movies is good quality indicator. Yeah, well, we used to look at a lot of writers for Disney when they made all their Disney Plus shows, and we went, oh, this person has no experience. Oh, this writer has no experience. Oh, this writer has one experience on a commercial. And they're all writing movies and television shows for the Marvel industry. And none of them read the source material because why would you? Come on, Drummond. He says, hi, 30. What do you think of getting a new Matrix game? I think the Matrix would be interesting. I mean, they did that Unreal Engine demo type of thing. It could be cool, but I kind of see it like Watch Dogs a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, that was like hacking and whatnot. I see something along the lines of that. I don't know if it would do good right now. I think they could, like, wait a little bit before they do a Matrix game. Maybe they have plans to reboot it or something. But it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. The other movie that came out didn't do very well. The one that came out, 2021, I think it was, didn't do very well. Felix says City of Heroes had a super speed as a power. I'm sure modern engines and devs could do that too. Flash has some iconic villain fights. It would be fun. Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, here, again, I'll bring up Sonic. The Sonic open world game, I forget which one that was called. Was it Frontiers? I think it was Frontiers. But like how you did the boss fights where you have to like circle the guy real fast and then like shoot up in the air and then slam down on him. Like you could do stuff like that with the Flash. Be interesting to see what they could do instead of the same old, same old. Altern says they should have made the Hogwarts like GTA 5 with GTA Online, make the single player aspect, and add later the free online co-op mode. That's what I thought they were going to do. I thought there was going to be a single thing, and then I thought they were going to open it up to be, you know, a multiplayer type of stuff, right? And that's what I thought. I thought that game, and I thought Starfield was going to do the exact same thing. And they didn't do it. Now they're going to make a sequel. And I was just like thinking to myself, I'm like, you have 25 million people, right? Here's the thing. Hogwarts 2 might sell more than that one. It might. But it also might not. Okay? And you captured all of these people for Hogwarts Legacy. It was a phenomenon that was going on at that moment because of what was happening in the world. People were like, oh, I'm boycotting. And people were like, well, you're going to boycott? I'll show you. And they bought more copies. And they sold 25 million copies. Now they're somewhere around, I think, 30 or 35 million copies, if I'm not mistaken. And they have that player base right now, set in stone, where if they just added something to this game, they would get a surge of people to play. Instead, now they're like, well, we're going to make a separate game, and all of these people will have to buy it again. Well, the problem with that is, when it comes out, is it going to be for the current system that we're in now and the new system? Is it just for the new system? Because that's a lot to ask now. Because now you have 25 million people or 30 million people over here playing Hogwarts Legacy 1. And if they move on over and it's only playing on the next Xbox or the next PlayStation, or the next gen, I should say, are those people going to buy a system to play that game? Probably not, right? It was very smart for them to put it on the Switch. It was very smart of them to put it on Steam, all the systems. So I think it's dumb of them if they do it the other way. Felix says, I'm over the Matrix. Titan says, a new Matrix movie is coming. There might be a good chance for a game. There's another Matrix movie coming? Is there? Or is that rumors because people were thinking about Will Smith because he made a song with filming like The Matrix. But I don't know. Is there a new movie? Is there a new movie coming out? I gotta look it up. The next Matrix film, Matrix 5 Resurgence, is scheduled for release in 2025. Okay. Is it coming out? Or did they get pushed back? I haven't heard anything about it. I think Matrix would make a perfect online game. Didn't they? Wasn't there a Matrix Online? I'm pretty sure there was. Yeah. Matrix Online game was back in, it was made by Monolith. Yeah. 2004. It was made by Monolith Productions. Clip says, I think Matrix would be a perfect online game. They're also weird in 2002 world, and your plan to people that get brought into the real world. That would be awesome. Matrix 4 is one of the few movies I actually turned off halfway. It's terrible. Yeah, it was really bad. Travis says, 30, here's what I don't get. Nobody wants a single-player games anymore, right? So why is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 doing buttloads of sales? It seems like the single-player doesn't sell logic isn't a thing. It doesn't when they say nobody wants it, they're talking about them, not the people, right, Travis? They don't want to sell you a one and done type of game. The companies, they want to sell you a microtransaction and a live service game. Dog says Hogwarts 2 got a great base game to start with, and hoping online can play. I just think they could add it to that game, or make it like an online, like Grand Theft Auto, like Altern said. You know what I mean? Like, that would be smarter to take the player base that's already there, dog, instead of making a brand new one and then hoping that everyone comes over. Altern says games that can pull off Starfield, Hogwarts, any Assassin's Creed games, since they are all so massive. Horizon Forbidden West, Star Wars Outlaws, maybe. Dog says I bought GTA twice. I'm the problem. All right. Yes. Yes. Hold on. I got something for you. Wait, no. No. Oh.
Stop it. Get some help.
Pretty sure they said that the new one is going to be a new trilogy. Oh, so it's a reboot of the Matrix. Awesome. Can't wait for that. He thinks there was a game, but 30 is living. Look. There was a game. Okay, there was a game. There it is. Okay. There was a game.
Get some help.
And also, let's see. It also needs to be a good single-player game, like Dragon Age shows that every game is good if it's a single player. Robert Jones says, so what happens when a company is drowning in debt if no one's willing to buy? Can they meet their own loan obligations? Probably not. And that's when companies get bought out. That's why I believe Fox got sold to Disney, because they were also going bankrupt, if I'm not mistaken. Dog says, okay, I'm going to get help. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, let's go from that to, we have two stories from Marvel Rivals. Okay, the first story from Marvel Rivals. Second story today is Marvel Rivals making all characters available from the beginning is a huge win, even from a business perspective. Guys, like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday. We talk about news stories, have conversations about it, give you my thoughts and opinions, then we have a conversation with you, and you give your thoughts and opinions on the article itself. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So Marvel Rivals making all characters available from the beginning is a huge win, even from a business perspective. Before I even get into this article, I've said this from the very start. If you're going to make a free-to-play game, especially in a comic book realm, giving all the characters for free is a huge, huge boost, and it's a mandatory thing, okay, in my opinion. If you want the fans to come, you want as many heroes as possible, or characters as possible, and you want as many villains to fight as possible. This doesn't have that recipe just yet. They're putting a lot of characters in, but not a lot of villain characters, okay? I think they could put a lot of villain characters in as well. So Marvel Rivals has gotten a live service formula right so far, I would say. The best part about this is that you can also open the game and play as any character from its start. Okay? It says Marvel Rivals came out on December 6th, and it's easily the most successful and well-received live service title in the last decade. Is it? Chad, is that true? Is that true? I don't know if it's the most successful. It's been out a month. Fortnite exists. How is this person saying this line, right? It's easily the most successful and well-received live service title in the last decade. What? Stop. But how did NetEase Games manage to make such a successful game when many others have failed recently? Well, it's stupidly simple. Marvel Rivals is made with passion, not greed. Okay. I call a spade, Okay? I call a spade a spade. No, Jason, you're absolutely right. Definitely one best at launch. Sure. We could move the goalpost to make it very specific, but come on, there's been other live service games that have been very successful. Okay. Very successful. Anyway, it says it's stupid is simple. Marvel Rivals is made with passion. I agree with that. Passion 100%. Can't deny that. Okay, facts. Passion's there. But not greed. Have they gone to the microtransaction store where they're paying $30 for a microtransaction? Have they opened the store? It says if you download and open Marvel Rivals for the first time, right this second, you'll find out that you also have every single character in the roster available right from the moment that you're also in the main menu. I've talked about this in the past with multiverses and other fighting games. I said you have to give the characters up front, give them as many characters as possible, put as many in the roster as possible. That's how this game succeeds. These types of games, not types of games of fighting games, these types of games that use the Marvel IP or DC IP or any kind of well-known IPs for characters, Looney Tunes and stuff like that, the better, the more there's in. More the merrier, okay? So it says available right now from the moment that you see the main menu, as that part of why the game is a hit, because not everyone wants to grind and unlock characters one by one in the game. Correct. Someone might be a fan of Luna Snow. I don't know who Luna Snow was. Someone might be a huge fan of Luna Snow, and that's why they're playing the game. Somebody right now, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, might be waiting for Gambit. And when Gambit comes to the game, they might start playing the game for the very first time because they're waiting for their hero that they want to play. And that is what makes this game, and that's what makes Marvel or DC or Hasbro or Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Trek, Star Wars. That's why people like playing these games. Battlefront learned their lesson. Battlefront 2, when they brought out Battlefront 2 EA, they locked characters behind a paywall instead of just letting people play the characters. Let them play the characters and then sell them cosmetic skins. That's what you should do. It says Marvel Rivals has simple yet efficient game plan. It says one of the biggest advantages in making all characters free at launch is that it removes what essentially is the biggest part of competitive online games these days. Having a paywall for characters is something the entire game community dislike, and the games like Overwatch 2 and League of Legends have done it for years now. Here's another thing, that putting characters behind the wall is almost like putting back in the day when we played Bad Company or Call of Duty or any kind of multiplayer game where they locked maps behind the paywall for like DLC. I always thought that was weird because then what would happen is like when the game comes out, you're playing the first 8 maps and then, 6 months later they put brand new maps in and then everyone's playing the new maps. No one's playing the old maps. They just didn't like rotate them in type of thing. And I always used to say, this is before streaming, I was like, it's stupid that they separate the player base because of maps, okay? So here it says, Nomadic View says, it's free, but more than that, it doesn't have features of heroes locked behind paywalls. This is why Warner Brothers' Smash Melee game failed. If you log on for the first time and you only have 3 heroes to play, a motivation to grind tanks. Exactly right. Right? Facts. These are facts. This is exactly why multiverse, one of the main reasons multiverse has failed. If Marvel, people also know the characters and have general idea about what to expect and how these characters fight and move. That's right, they have a power fantasy, and they want to be able to use these characters. So if you bring in Colossus or you bring in Juggernaut, they're like, I know what Juggernaut does. He smashes through shit, okay? I'm a big Juggernaut fan, so I'm going to play Juggernaut. That's how it works. It's as simple as that, right? The conversation we had yesterday on Discord, talking about complexity and stuff, right? I brought up how people want to change the television set, how they want to like wave their hand to try to change it, or voice activation, change channel to this, volume up, and it's like the most efficient thing is to take your thumb and just hit a button. It takes 3 seconds to do the whole thing, right? If I say 596, if it doesn't work off the top, right? Channel 596, it doesn't work. But if my finger goes 596, it's done. It works. It just works. They try to make something more complicated than it needs to be. Just stop it. Just make it what it is. People want to play video games because they want to not unlock characters. They want to play the characters that they're fans of. Okay. It says character design developers are faithful to the source material. The craziest design decisions, to me, is making the Punisher built like 2003 Brock Lesnar. Okay. I love, and a lot of you guys didn't like the art style, which is fine. Okay. I love the art style. I love the design choice they did with Marvel Rivals, and it's a very smart choice. Okay. It says no one wants to grind week grind a week to try a character they might not even like. No one wants to buy a battle pass to unlock new characters. The fact that Marvel Rivals lets us experiment with each and every character is a big win for players and big brain move by NetEase. The fact that we're giving a compliment of a big brain move, this should be like common sense 101. It's like, how do we want people to play our game? I played a game called Marvel Future Revolution. Okay, it was a mobile phone game. You could play it on the PC, and it was pretty good. They had 8 characters or 10 characters at launch, and I thought it was very good. And I was like, the biggest downfall of this game is that they don't have enough characters. Give me enough characters. Marvel Rivals, or I'm sorry, Marvel Avengers game that came out a couple years ago that bombed, the looter shooter type of thing. They gave you the 6 characters, right? And they had character passes, like battle passes for each individual stuff. But every time they brought in characters, they were free. And I thought this was smart. But their fault was that they didn't bring in enough characters, right? Bring in as many characters as possible. And it would have made the experience better. But when you're doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over, and you're not bringing in new characters except once a year, people start to get bored, right? If I don't take my dog for a walk, he gets bored. He's going to start digging holes in the ground. He's going to start ripping the couch. He's going to start doing different things because he's bored. You got to go, hey, let's go. Let's go do something new, different. If you let a gamer sit there and play the exact same thing over and over and over, they're going to get bored. They're either going to go do something else, or they're going to start to see the flaws in the foundation of your video game, right? So you have to keep them engaged. Okay, it says the best part of the devs made the decision because of player feedback. Earlier testing in phases suggested the game might feature a limited hero rotation, but after gathering community input, NetEase pivoted towards making all heroes available from the start. And all really was the best move because for the game is mid-round character swapping, and you have to be stupid to lock characters. It would be so stupid. This game would dramatically go down in value if I had to pay to unlock all the characters. Can you imagine? To be like, oh, there's Punisher. You got to pay $10 to unlock him. That'd be the dumbest move known to man. Okay. It says, and you can also see the results for yourself. For the game that came out in December of the year, it was still one of the most successful titles of 2024. It retained 90% of the player's base after the first month and hit an even bigger peak in January of 2025 with the release of Season 1, and now that's impressive. So it says NetEase made a genre-defining game. Live service games are tough nut to crack, but because I think we're just ahead of ourselves here. It's literally out for a month and a half, okay? A tough nut to crack because the developers need to balance monetization with player satisfaction. If the character space, we also need spectacular failures of Overwatch 2 and multiverses. Yeah, but can we look at this at a whole here? The reason that Overwatch 2 failed is because Overwatch 1 was very successful. Very successful. It became an esports phenomenon. There was leagues going on, like an actual professional, like it was like soccer and football, okay? And then they switched it up because why? Because they got okay. And then multiverses, they fucked up not just because of the locked characters behind the grind. They screwed up because they had it out in beta for 1 year and then closed it down for 1 year and then came back in worst case scenario, worse than it was when it came out 2 years before. It was just dumb. Okay. It says this creates a pay to win perception where players who invest more money gain an advantage. If your argument is that the free characters reduce revenue, well, get ready for a wake-up call. Despite offering all heroes for free, Marvel Rivals has already generated an estimated $136 million in revenue. How? Because they're willing to spending money on cosmetic items and are happy to support the game where they'll be treated fairly. Look, this could easily, and I'll compare this to a video on YouTube, right? If I put a video out and that video skyrockets in the very beginning, be like, well, that's such a good move. Look at the detail. It's going up, but then it plateaus, okay? It'll plateau. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago. If they bring in like an unknown character, and we use Pasty Pot Pete. Here we go. We're going to bash Pasty again, okay? If Pasty Pot Pete comes in the game and he's the only character to come in, that graph is going to plateau, okay? Because if they're not giving you a character that people are interested in, then they better bring in more cosmetics that people are interested in. And if they're not bringing character models that are interested for cosmetics, and there's not bringing a character and you have to wait another 6 weeks, that's going to plateau for that next round that they look at, right? So to look at it and be like, oh well, it's not like that. You have to bring in cool characters and keep people interested the entire time. If it's not a character, it's the game modes. If it's not the game modes, it's the maps. If it's not the maps, so honestly, I think they can do it, but we'll see. Says, unlike games that force players to spend money to unlock characters, Marvel Rivals creates a positive player-developer relationship, making people more likely to invest in skins, battle passes, and other optional content. This goodwill gives us reason to support the game and help it by giving revenue. Yeah, until it doesn't, right? But as long as you're enjoying your time, for instance, I put enough time in, right? I bought the first battle pass after I finished it. I'm on page 7 right now. I haven't played this weekend, so it's been 3 days I missed. But I'm at like page 7 right now, so there's like 65 days left or something like that in the season. I'll be more than easily complete it, and I'll probably buy the battle pass. And if I don't buy the battle pass, instead of buying the battle pass, I might get a skin of Captain America because that's who I use the most. Okay, so and that's fair, right? I think that is fair. Where sure, do I want to pay $40-$60 for a video game and that'd be it? Yeah, that'd be great. But if I'm playing a free-to-play game and I'm putting 40, 60, 80, 100 hours into a game, to give them $10, to give them $20, in my mind, I look at it and go, okay, this game is worth $60, $70. So for me, be like, well, that's 7 battle passes for the next 7 seasons. That's worth it for me. But I'm talking about me. Okay, this is exactly like the Larian Studios. Vex said that in 2024 Game Awards, it's really that simple. Do it for passion, and the money will come. Exactly. Okay? Isn't that how it goes? Marvel Rivals is one of the best passion projects that we've seen in the last few years. Fans are more than happy to see it succeed because developers deserve it and much more. Look, I agree with a lot of stuff they're saying. I just think that they're glazing a little too much, okay, by saying it's the best live service game of the decade. There's plenty of live service games that have been huge success, okay, over the last decade, and they're only taking this small percentage of 1 month of $136 million, which is nothing to look down on. Doing fantastic, but to say that this is the best, it's not yet. Let's just slow your roll. It's still a new car smell. Things can go wrong. Helldivers came out. People loved Helldivers, and then Sony came in and was like, kicked the door open, and they're like, hey, kids, you got to sign up. And everyone's like, uh-oh. And something went wrong. I just think we're a little too early because, again, companies right now, they look at it and go, we're making enough money. We're making $136 million. We don't know what the budget was. We don't know how long they worked on the game for. At some point, they could look at it and go, we're not selling enough. And they start raising more prices, or they start doing something else. Who knows? Right now, people are enjoying it. Right now, Marvel Rivals is very successful. But to say that it's, the greatest thing since sliced bread, let's slow your roll down. Let it give it time to cook and see what happens in the long run. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you like what I do here, check out some other videos. Let me know what you guys think in live chat. And let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. All right, let me scroll back up here. Dude Tech Guy says, once the honeymoon phase is over, Marvel Rivals rank is very suspicious. Matchmaking, but it's fun. Yeah, I just think I think the person writing the article is getting ahead of themselves, okay? I just think they're getting ahead of themselves. Water Bear says, you got me. I bought Captain America's skin. Dog says, I'm that tight. I'm that high. I can't even use the currency I have for free to buy skins on Marvel. Jason says, I do like most of the costumes. I have unique emote and MVP screen. Oh, for the price? I still think the price is way too expensive. Way too expensive. Like, a spray should be like 25 cents, 50 cents. Maybe $1. Maybe $1. Doc says, I was bullied into it by Luke, if that counts. Peter Papa says, 30. Have a good day. I'm going to go fly. Oh, nice. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. Frank the Tank. Roadkill says, it's unbelievable to me that the President Trump is the first president to go to the Super Bowl. Like, what the fuck is it up to? I thought that was weird too, Roadkill. I was like, really? Like, no president has ever gone to a Super Bowl before? I thought that was strange. Eclipse says, I really don't know why they moved it into Unreal Engine 5. Why just make it better? Make it care if it looks better. I want better mechanics in a fighting game. Oh, you're talking about multiverses. What you're talking about, Eclipse? Let's see. Travis says, the cartoon brawler, not a real fighter, but I get you. You mean the cartoon brawler like the other brawlers that are out there that are cartoons, like Smash Brothers, which is one of the biggest ones in the history of fighting games? That one? Hal says, I think Marvel Rivals skins are too expensive, and I think the Battle Pass is a little too grindy. I agree with the expensive of the skins. I think the Battle Pass right now is okay, but I can see it that like I took a break for a little bit, right? For the last 3 days. Now, if I log in and I still have them, if they're still up, I don't know how long they stay up for. But if I have like the next 3 days that I missed and I can do them super fast, I don't really think that's grindy. I mean, obviously it's a thing. So like if you miss 6 days or 7 days in a row and you can get on for 1 hour and complete them, I think that's cool. But I haven't done that yet because every day I kind of like logged in. So I'll let you know what I think tomorrow, House. When I get off tonight or today, I'll go play a little bit. And if my last 3 days are there and I can complete them within like an hour or two, I think that's actually pretty good. I wouldn't think it was too grindy. Go on, Ghost Fixer. Let's see here. New Tech Guy says you can go to play players versus AI to challenges in Marvel Rivals and also get the challenges done quickly, especially if you have a challenge for a character you don't use. Yeah, I do that all the time. Maybe it's while in the office, pretty sure past presidents have attended. No, well, yeah. No, a sitting president, Kraken. A sitting president. I'm sure they've gone to the Super Bowl, but a sitting president has never been to a Super Bowl. So that's weird, right? You would think, I don't know, Kennedy or Reagan or somebody. Dog says, I missed a week, did 2 hours, and completed the challenges. So you can do that. So the dailies stack up, and you missed a week, went back, and in 2 hours you completed them all. See, I think that's good because if you're a person that has a life, you work a lot, come home, you're like, you know what, I only get an hour or two to play a week. You can sit down and complete something. I think that's good. I also don't buy the Battle Pass, though, till the very end. So if I don't complete it, I'm not spending the money. Arga says, even if only counting just while I'm office, this is still pretty crazy. They're in the office for 4 years at a time. DLC old gods worth getting. Starts says because security nightmare for the president to go. Oh yeah, well that's why I think this one was indoors. Lots of years past. I mean, they've been indoors before, but it's a logistic nightmare, I would think. Actually, was the Super Bowl? This was 57. 57. I don't think Kennedy was alive. I don't think the Super Bowls existed then. Let's see. I don't even like it, even if they have the purple currency. You can't unlock the skins unless you unlock all the stuff around it first. Oh, you're talking about that currency. That currency is grindy. The if you pay for the battle pass, there's a lot of cosmetics that you can unlock and sprays and skins and nameplates and stuff like that. This is my one thing that I will push back on Marvel Rivals. I wish there was more things to unlock per character that were free. So like in their tier thing that you're going up to become like a lord or whatever, that I wish there was more of, not just one of each like nameplate, spray, and a cosmetic or whatever. I wish there was more inside that for people that want to do that, and then also there's more skins and stuff coming down the line. The problem with this is the reason there's so many characters they're going to put in the game. So let's say, like, for right now, they put in brand new skins for like 2 or 3 each week. You have 60 characters in the game, and they're only putting 3 in a week, right? By the time it gets around to like Hulk, it's like a year later. You know what I mean? That's a problem. So they might have to like kind of put more skins in for more characters as they go through the year, but we'll see. I mean, you have to buy the yellow currency. How do you earn the blue currency? The blue currency is earned by doing the pass. There's a couple of free spots there. There's also like if you go to the challenges, or not the challenges, there's the dailies, the weeklies. There's certain achievements, the achievement part. So if you go up to your character profile up in the upper right hand corner house, there's an achievement list. If you complete those achievements, you earn the blue currency to unlock the characters. Quintar says season pass and battle pass should be permanent, available to do at your leisure. They would make so much money doing it that way. They are, though, Quintar. The season pass and the battle pass are, as long as you buy it, it never ends. If you don't buy it, then they go bye-bye. So you have to buy a minimum of $10. But if you buy the $10 battle pass, it doesn't expire. FOMO shouldn't be in a battle pass, in my opinion. Well, it's not as long as you pay $10. Right? It's a free-to-play game, so they got to make money. If you like the season pass, you don't have to buy it. To do that. You mean all games to do that. I got you. So if you want to buy it, then buy it. If you don't want to buy it, then at the end of the season, it's going bye-bye. Unless you pay $10. If you pay $10, it stays there as long as the game stays up. And I agree, Quintar. All games should do the Halo mentality of battle passes, season passes should never expire. But I also agree with, if it's $10 and you want to buy it, then same with Helldivers. Helldivers, Marvel Rivals, Halo, these are 3 great examples of things that don't expire as long as you pay the $10 or whatever for the battle pass. Helldivers goes above and beyond. I don't know if they still do this, but you can earn the currency within the actual game itself by like physically picking up and searching the map, finding the currency, and then taking that currency and then buying the next war bond that you can get. That's next level. I don't know. Does Halo do something like that? Noob Tech Guy says, Halo, you can go back and buy the first battle pass right now. Sure, but Halo is also a full-fledged game, Noob Tech Guy. Right? Now, you don't have to buy the game to play Halo, but Halo itself, you're either paying for it because you have Game Pass, you're paying for it because you bought the actual game. So they make that money up front. Marvel Rivals doesn't make anything up front. It's a free-to-play game. Robert Jones says, free-to-play games have turned me into a cheap-ass gamer. Eclipse says, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. What's that answer to? Sorry, Eclipse. Because it's delayed a little bit. I don't know what you're gonna try the beta for Wilds? No, I already played it. I don't need to play a beta again. I liked it. I just don't know if I'm gonna pick it up. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up. We'll see. We'll see if the wave of excitement when it comes in and people start playing it and I start watching people play it, if it gets the bug and then I buy it. Halo multiplayer is free to play. Okay, but if you want to play Halo, the campaign, right? Most people buy Halo for the campaign. You have to either get it through Game Pass or pay full price to play it, right? If you want to play multiplayer, cool. But they're still subsidizing the game in some way, shape, or form if it's through Game Pass or full-fledged price. Those are facts. It's not a free-to-play game all around. Let's see. Noob Tech guy says, I'm talking about the Battle Pass purchase because there's also still FOMO. Buy it while the season's active or miss out on Halo has removed FOMO. I understand that. Again, though, they can do that because Halo makes a subsidized money either off of Game Pass or people that bought the game. Same with Helldivers. Helldivers is a $40 purchase to buy that game. So you're getting $40 off them regardless. Quintar, thank you very much for that. Oh, and there was someone. I forgot to say thank you. Where is it? Robert Jones. Robert Jones and Quintar. Thank you very much for the continued support. Robert Jones had a 23 months. He says bot confirmed. And Quintar coming back as a member. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Mo says, yeah, but the Battle Pass is more multiplayer only. Mo, I get that, but you understand, right? That the game is sold. In any way, shape, or form, it's still sold either through Game Pass or if someone buys the game separate. They're making money other than just off the Battle Pass and in the microtransactions. Marvel's not charging anything. They have to make their money, so they're guaranteed if you want to get the Battle Pass, it's $10. Quintar with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you very much for that. How you been, Quintar? Travis says, curious, it may watch you play Adamfall before I decide I'm going to get it or not. You're basically the guy I trust to advise. Yeah, we're going to play we'll play that game as well. We're going to be playing Avowed when it comes out. We're going to be playing Adamfall when it comes out, or try it at least. I don't know if I want to play Eternal Stranded. I think tonight we're going to play it. I think tonight we're going to play Eternal Strand. You mean NetEase can't do that? How much money are they worth? How much up do they have generating money? I understand I just disagree on they can remove FOMO. They don't want to. I think they can remove it if they wanted to. If they had other games, obviously, which they do with mobile games and whatnot. But one doesn't represent the other, right? Like, how can I put this in a way, right? If somebody, if you give a person that's out front of the supermarket asks for $10, okay, you give them money. Are you never going to give anyone else money because you gave them money? You know what I mean? Like, well, how much are they worth? Like, that's not the mentality to have. If are you enjoying Marvel Rivals? Yes or no, right? And then from yes or no is if no, then I'm not going to buy stuff. Yes, maybe I'm going to buy stuff. So now you're enjoying it, right? You're putting time into the actual game, right? This goes for any game. We're just talking about Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals has removed the FOMO for at least 12 weeks, right? 12 weeks, you sit there and go, do I want to buy the Battle Pass or do I not want to buy the Battle Pass? Well, yes, I like playing the game. Do I like the Battle Pass? Yes, I like the Battle Pass. Or no, I don't like the Battle Pass. And if you like the Battle Pass, then pay $10. And then you don't have to worry about it. And if you don't like the Battle Pass, you're like, I don't know, right? Like, yes, there's still FOMO, and I get what you're saying, but this way is much better than the past way. Helldivers doesn't do it, but there's a $40 price tag to buy the game, to play the game. Halo, there's still upfront fee for that being subsidized by people that either play Game Pass or bought the game. You could buy the multiplayer for free. Now, I have a question for the multiplayer for free part. Is it with the lowest core or is it off of core? Meaning that gold or whatever it is. Are you still paying for internet or Xbox to play, or can you play Halo Infinite without multiplayer, without buying gold or core? Because if you can play it without buying that stuff, then cool, it's free. But if you have to have internet, then you're paying for the internet. It's free to play. Okay, so you don't need to pay for the internet connection for Xbox Live or for Xbox Live at all, Mo, is what you're saying. What's going on, Miss Luke? Hey, you buy what you want. It's your money. I don't judge anybody. I just don't play stuff I don't want to play. You can play it with nothing. Okay. I played Rivals without core. Right, but again, Luke, right? Rivals is completely free. Like, they're not charging anything. Yeah, it's free. Yeah. You understand, though, that Halo is being subsidized, though, right? You guys understand? Because it's on Game Pass, because it's a campaign, because people pay full price, this is why they can give it away for free? Correct. Which I'm fine with. couldn't play Rivals on PlayStation this weekend. Oh, was it down because of the outage? So what was the deal with that? Was it the complete and utter just the live service part, so you couldn't play any games online on PlayStation, but you could play your single player games? Or could you not play your single player games because of their connection to the online? You don't need Game Pass to play. That's not what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying, New Tech Guy? I'm not saying you need Game Pass to play. What I'm saying is the reason that Halo can give away the free part is because people buy the campaign. They buy the game. It's part of the production that they put it in, right? They're paying for Halo campaign, and they're paying for Game Pass, and it's on Game Pass. Crowd says Sony is trash. That's the deal. PSN was down. How could you play PlayStation? You can't play anything single player? Some people couldn't play their single player games. Man, that's the dystopian future we're living in. That's not even a Sony problem, right? That's going to be a video game issue down the line. Some people couldn't register their disk drive. They couldn't even play the single player games. Jesus Christ. Travis says single player games could be played. Not all, Travis. I was playing PlayStation Plus version of Final Fantasy VII Intermission just fine. It was weird. Like, some people were affected by it and some people weren't affected by it. So it wasn't a complete outage. I think this other article about Marvel Rivals dev conducted extensive research. I think that, let me see, from a start to impressive how 35 Marvel. I guess we could read this. See what this is. I didn't know if this is like another article different from talking about the other stuff. Wasn't too sure. Some single player games have to be online. So yeah, see if it's yours. That's crazy. That's not just a Sony problem though, right? In the future, with Xbox being online, with PlayStation, with Nintendo, with Steam, whatever, if something goes down, you're shit out of luck. Oh, did you like that, Dolphin? Yeah, I'm trying something different. I put that up on our Nerding with 30 site. If you guys want to, it actually blew up. It blew up on the channel. I didn't even know. I woke up this morning and I looked at it. I was like, what the hell's going on? Let me see what it is right now. For a channel that has 150, Yeah, it's gotten. Hold on. It has 377 views on it, which that's pretty funny. I just took a shitty song, AI created song, making fun of the trailer, and I put the song over the trailer, and it's called "Real Ridiculous." Right? That's what I'm calling it. So it's just gonna be trailers. I'm working on the Superman one right now, and I'm working on the Fantastic Four one right now. I'm trying to come up with good songs that are like cheesy but yet fun, to make fun of the trailer as it's playing. So that one seems like it's doing pretty well. So we'll see what happens. I'm glad you liked it. Jason says extensive research into Pasty Pot Pete. I'm gonna see that movie just for Scarlett Johansson. I mean, she's good looking, man. She's good looking. I mean, what man or boy doesn't like good looking girls and dinosaurs? Come on. Not going to be a good movie. We know it's not going to be a good movie, but you can go like what you want. You know what I mean? You can go watch dinosaurs and hot chicks. That could be the title of the movie. Hot chicks and dinosaurs. Robert Jones says, I think the next gen consoles require network checks to play anything digital, just like the week for even or less. Yeah, I can see that happening 100%, Jones. Noob Tech Guy says, yeah, I hate the Steam that any single player worked for me when the hurricane took out my internet. I played Horizon Zero Dawn and The Witcher 3, and that was already on my PC. Yeah, that's something that if you're in a hurricane zone or ever been affected by a hurricane or you lost power in some way, shape, or form, you find out real quick. You're like, oh, what can I play? Pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing. Let's see. Chicks with dinosaurs. Not chicks with dinosaurs. That just sounds wrong. Chicks and dinosaurs. Chicks with dinosaurs sounds like the chicks are dating the dinosaurs. Dolphin says hot chicks and dinos, $1 billion movie. That's it. Titan says, wasn't Brie Larson supposed to be in place of ScarJo for Jurassic World Rebirth? That's what I heard. I don't know. Probably a smart move. Maybe Brie Larson is trying to get away from that. Travis says, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was an old game, was fun. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I know exactly what you meant by that. This is why I keep at least 2 banger single player games downloads for rainy day. Well, we have a battery backup, and I have older games and a disk drive, so we can always play the old games that we have. Robert Jones says Brie Larson would have worked there. No, I think she would have worked there. What I'm saying though, Jones, is maybe she looked at it and went, I'm gonna stay clear of that. No, she is a good actor. Yeah, she won an award for acting and whatnot. I have no problem with the actress. I have a problem with what she said years ago. But for herself, yeah, I've watched her other movies. Clip says, "Yep, this is why I kept my 360, my PlayStation 2. It's stuff like that ever happens. I really want the games. Those are backup. Yeah, that's exactly right. I have all my old systems right there." I think she would have worked better. Yeah, here's the problem when you have such a when you see Scarlett Johansson and then you put her in Jurassic World. I think she's Black Widow. Do you know what I mean? Like if she starts to do like kung fu and whatnot, you like associate the character with her last big character, even though she could do other things. But you're like, oh, that's just Black Widow in a Jurassic World movie. I highly suggest getting a battery backup, noob. Yeah, it's not even like even if she is a completely different character, right? But she does any kind of kung fu, you're like, "Oh, well, Black Widow." Right? And that's the problem when you're typecasted into certain roles. Like Chris Hemsworth is Thor. So if he plays a bigger guy smashing people's heads open in a thing, you're like, "Oh, that's Thor." But if he takes a completely different role, you're like, "Oh, he doesn't get typecasted as that." Travis says 30. Here's the problem with Brie Larson. I think the Soldier Boy said it best. Captain Marvel needs to smile. If not, she looks like she's out there being Captain Lesbo, thanks to the boys. I don't think that's the problem. I think the character herself was she. Look, you can blame it on the actress. You can blame it on. I would blame it more on the director. Okay, an actor is on set, and again, I'm taking a lot of leeway here. I don't know if the director told her who Captain Marvel was, how to act like Captain Marvel. I don't know if they told her to read the comic books and find out who the character is, right? A lot of them tell him don't read the comics because they don't want to do that, right? So I don't know if it was Brie Larson's choice to make her so like I'm a bitchy woman, badass, whatever, and playing that part like that, or if it was the director that never told her like, yeah, why don't you smile more, right? Type of thing. Who knows? Yeah, the movie was this trash. It had nothing to do with Brie Larson. Right. The actor's just acting what's on the page. The writing, if the writing's bad and the director is not telling you what to do, that's a problem. Waterbear says, well, if she read the comics, she's spot on because Captain Marvel is a comic acts the same way. Right. She's very like bitchy. At least what I've seen her. Hell, even in the Marvel's Midnight Sun, she's very bitchy. Well, I don't think those are the exact words she said, Travis. She did say it at an event, and it was for the what was the other movie she was in? It's on Disney, right? I forget what the other movie was called, but she was saying, "I don't care." She was doing a children's movie, right? Wasn't more of a meant for children. In context, she said, "I don't care what a 40-year-old man thinks because that wasn't meant for him." And then someone took that and put it into other things and took it out of context. See, context is very important for a lot of things. She was aggressive, not a bitch. She was still nice to you. And Blade. She came off pretty rough. I mean, I don't think they're gonna make her bitchy in the game, but she comes off as very off puttish. She's like Amber Heard. She was always crying. I think you should have casted someone different for Doctor Doom. It feels desperate. I I agree, noob. I agree. Robert Downey Jr. I think if it's done well, if they do it in a way which we don't know what that way is yet, I think it could be done good. But we'll see. It does seem desperate. I think what's more desperate is that they went back to the Russo brothers because the last time they did something that was good was with the Russo brothers. That's more. I feel that's more desperate than Robert Downey Jr. It's double desperate though, bringing them back and Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, but that's a cop out though, Titan. This is why I don't like the multiverses. It leaves nothing. Uh, if someone dies, you're like, they're not dead. Because even if that one's dead, like Black Widow's dead, right? Spoiler alert. But maybe she's not. Maybe she came back and she's in a different universe and she's in Jurassic World now. You know what I mean? Like there is no repercussions. It's like, oh yeah, this person died, but he's not really dead. They just bring him back from another realm. Midnight Suns was a fanfic stream work. And the multiverse has just made me everything pile of poop. That sucks. Yeah, I mean, it could be 100% a cop-out. Again, good writing, good directing, and if they have a good story because of the writers, then it could do well. Did you guys see? I sent this picture. This weekend, I went to MegaCon. This weekend, which is a comic, toy, cosplay, gigantic. About 200,000 people showed up for 3 days, 3.5 days, 4 days, whatever it was. Where did I post it? Was it in general? I posted a picture. I walk in, and if you guys know, right now, I do not like Pedro Pascal. I don't like him. Okay. He's everywhere. I'm tired of seeing his face. Okay, so I went to the con this weekend. And the first thing I see when I walk in is this giant banner. Come on. And you guys chatted a lot. Jesus Christ. But it's this picture, and it's so fucking like it's so cringeworthy. I was like, I can't get away from this guy. He's everywhere. Oh, I can't find it. Let me just bring it up on my phone. This is the picture of. Can't see it because it's like blurred out. But it's a big ass poster of Pedro Pascal on this thing, and I was just like, and it says "Daddy's here." I was like, get the hell out of here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it was so bad. I was like, are we kidding me? It's blurred out. That's what Pedro should be. I think he's a bad casting for Reed Richards. I do. Okay, here it is. I'll show it to you guys now. Okay. You can see it in all its glory. In all its glory. There he is. Let daddy hold your head. I was like, oh my God. The dude is everywhere. Dude is everywhere. Yeah, that was a booth at the at the con. Con was gigantic, man. It was so freaking big. Broick says the stuff of nightmares. it was bad. All right, we got this. Noobtech says, Comics Explained don't believe it's Victor Von Doom and says they can't afford Robert Downey Jr. for much longer. And it's Doom is an imposter, and Victor Von Doom hunts him down because it's Comics Doom. So basically, they're bringing you in to bring in the people to sucker him into the movie. But he's going to be in there very short, a small part, basically, is what you're saying? Hates imposters and hunts them. Interesting. Dolphin says, some dude just selling actors on tote bags about daddy. I couldn't thought of that. Well, you didn't. And someone else did. And now they're making money. Comics Explained changed his mind. You guys are, like, I guess, watching a You guys are watching a different show, a channel, and I have no idea. And now you're saying that he said this and now he thinks this. Jason says, nah, Victor Von Doom for sure. He's the main draw for the movie. Is he though? You know who was the main draw? Let me bring up something to you, Jason. Who was the main draw for The Force Awakens? Who was in the trailer the most? And yet wasn't even in the movie for more than 8 seconds. The very first one. That would be Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker. Okay? They'll do it. Now, I'm not saying that Robert Downey Jr. is not in the movie. I'm just saying they're going to use him to the fullest and very minimal because they can. But he is getting paid, I think, like $20 million. And because Hollywood has to pay people, he's dying off. Unless it makes $1 billion. And then they'll bring him back. Since as I do as well, I thought Michael Keaton was a bad casting for Batman 89 until I saw the movie. Oh, he's awesome as Batman. He's literally my favorite Batman, Sin. Yeah, but it's not JR. It's just an imposter. Read Doom's comic and lets him pose. Here's another thing, though, noob. If you read the comic, the movies are references to the comics, but not a one-to-one to the comics, right? A lot of people forget that. There's the comics, and then there's the MCU. The MCU draws from the comics, but it's not a one-to-one of the comics. I thought Ben Affleck was your favorite? Stop.
You serious?
Stop it. Get some help.
Are coming in here. I'm saying it would work. In theory, we will see. Yeah, no, I get you. I just think a lot of people that are comic book, like, super fans. And I don't know if you are, noob. What I'm saying is a lot of people over the last 10 years that I've been streaming, okay, a lot of people are like, oh, this happened in the comics, this happened in the comics, this is this. And none of that happens in the actual movie because it's loosely based on it. Travis says, 30, I bet you dollars to donuts that the woman would have killed to play Mara Jade. Oh, did you guys see what they're doing now? Inside the parks? Like, people give a shit now. Okay, speaking of Luke Skywalker. 6 years. 6 years after they opened the park. Okay? They said, no. We're not bringing in any old school Star Wars people. Okay? And of course, since then, the movie's bombed and failed, and the hotel shut down, and all these things now at Disney World. And now they're introducing Luke Skywalker is walking around the land with R2-D2. Darth Vader walks around the actual place now. Like, what happened, Disney? What happened? Jason, Star Wars is a whole other level of stupidity compared to Marvel, though. Look, it's the same company, Jason. It's Disney. So I'm not going to put it past them to be like, no, there's no way they're gonna bait and switch us with Robert Downey Jr. They did it with Mark Hamill. Kylo says, too bad it's only Disneyland. Yeah, it's a testing ground to see what the way it works out. But at the same time, it's just like, really? 6 years it took you to decide to go, yeah, let's put Luke in there. Because they didn't want to promote the old movies. They wanted the new ones to sell product. Yeah, and guess what? Nothing sold. Yeah, nothing sold. And this is why they're bringing back the old stuff. Go to the store. Go to the toy store right now. Go to Target, Walmart, wherever place you could buy Star Wars figures, and see which ones you can buy off the shelf right now. Let me know. Let me know if you see Rey and all of them, or actually, you probably will see Rey, but you won't see anybody else. Or will you see Darth Vader? Will you see Obi-Wan Kenobi? Will you see Luke Skywalker? Yes, you will. Took them a hotel failing to realize don't overcharge for rooms. That wasn't even the thing. They picked the wrong era, Travis. Do you understand? If it was the same hotel, but in the old trilogy, they could have charged double the price. They could have charged double the price of what they were charging now. People would be like, $8,000, sign me up. Okay? If they thematically made the park inside Tatooine or Hoth, people would be charged double. $400 for the park? Sure, let's go. Like, do you understand the difference between the old school Star Wars fans and the new school Star Wars fans? I don't think you do. Warbear says, my son and daughter are 9 and they couldn't tell you who Rey is, but they know who Luke is and Darth Vader. You know what? That's the way it should be, Water. I mean, you're a goddamn hero. You're a fantastic dad. Teach him right. Teach him right. My son, last night, okay, he was supposed to do his laundry. We were watching the Super Bowl. He didn't want to watch the Super Bowl. So he went into his room. He was doing his laundry. Okay. 2.5 hours passed. Okay. I walk into his room. His clothes are all over the place. I'm like, what are you doing? I look over and he's watching New Hope. I looked at him and went, you're lucky you're watching Star Wars. And I'll clean up your room. Right? He was watching New Hope. Bracken says, no more Tatooine, please, 30. I'm begging you. Travis says, New Hope saved him a beating. I don't hit my kid, but he definitely saved him from being grounded. Water says, let me tell you the time that New Hope saved my life. All right, let's go to this story. Marvel Rivals dev conducted an exhaustive research to come up with the game's roster of heroes and abilities so it could live up to the exceptionally, I'm okay, chat, just stroking out, high player expectations, all right? It says, I used to go to every single midnight showing of Marvel Cinematic Universe film, and after the Avengers Endgame, and dedication slowly warned as I found it impossible to enjoy the films to offer with the same enthusiasm that I used to. I think that goes with anything. You know what I mean? I think that goes with anything. I thought I might as well be tired of the superheroes in general, but I wasn't until I started playing Marvel Rivals that I realized that the heroes never stopped being cool, only the movies did. And I will agree with that 100%, right? A lot of people look at stuff and be like, oh, no, they're good. They want to be good. But then the movies aren't really that good, right? Since Endgame, and we can have a whole conversation about Endgame if it's good or bad, but Endgame was the end of it, okay? And then Shang-Chi, Black Widow, all these other ones came out, and they've just been awful, right? First 3 phases, fantastic. 4, 5, and now starting 6 with Fantastic Four. 2 so far of the phases have been awful, okay? So from the start, I was impressed with how the 35 heroes currently in Marvel Rivals all managed to stand out with different strengths and play styles. There's also no copy pasta stand-ins, while there's also no couple of shared abilities like double jumps or stuns. Every hero ends up feeling unique. Yeah, like I said, I've had this conversation months ago about how you could bring in the same character. Like if you brought in a Colossus or Juggernaut, they would be pretty similar, right? They're both just tanks or whatnot. But again, someone that's playing Colossus probably not going to play Juggernaut, probably not going to play Hulk, right? They're all going to play a little different. And if they don't play different, it's okay because the person that likes that character, Cyclops, Juggernaut, Hulk, are going to play those characters, right? So now, this doesn't just happen by chance. In an interview with Unreal Engine, a lead technical designer described just how much hard work went into creating each hero. Their memorable abilities and team-up abilities and also have become integral to the game. It says, as a global premium IP with 85 years of history, 86, Marvel commands exceptional high player expectations regarding the authenticity of these superhero characters. Okay, the developer team needed to ensure that each hero poses not only distinctive personalities and abilities, but also maintains the balance between the characters and guaranteed competitive fairness and integrity. Okay, and this little line here of, the 85 years, you should take that with pride for people, right? I mean, obviously, I'm only 46, double my age, almost. Okay, it's been around longer than I've been alive, double that. And there's people that are huge fans of the brand. So when someone comes along and doesn't do the character correctly, or doesn't do the movie correctly, or doesn't do the TV show correctly, or changes something with the characters, you're going to hear from these people. Okay, most of the heroes' abilities in Marvel Rivals are surprisingly well suited for the character. Jeff the Land Shark's whole persona is being as adorable and friendly little guy who helps on whatever he can in the matches, and the status as a strategist, and also helps a little aggressive ult, which can be gobbled up heroes, healing allies and damaging enemies. There's also Loki, shape-shifting ultimate cunning abilities like the ones that he also sneak around undetected or create clones of himself to confuse the enemy, living up to the title of God of Mischief. While Hela is a goddess of death and is known for most of the server admins because of just how powerful she is, although it's probably more a result of poor balancing and then artistic decision. Team-up abilities are also make sense, right? I love the team-ups. I think the team-up abilities are the big selling point for this, and I don't think a lot of people understand the team-ups. So Rocket Raccoon getting a damage reduction if he rides Groot's shoulders. He's also really cool, nod to some comics, iconic comic book and movie scenes. While Doctor Strange getting charged with Hulk's gamma radiation is also a nod to how gamma energy can be used in spells. Other team-ups like Hawkeye and Black Widow, or Adam Warlock and Star-Lord or Mantis, also just make sense in terms of these characters being closely related to one another in the comic book stories. Now, throughout the Marvel Rivals development, delivering an authentic superhero experience has been a paramount design principle. For each character, we conducted extensive research across all source material, particularly comics, to distill the fundamentals, essence of it, okay? Or essentials. This is also isn't to say that every hero has the abilities to have 100% suited for the powers of personalities. Hulk's Gamma Bubble is a new addition, and it's also be comic book accurate. It's necessary for the games. Most Vanguards have access to some kind of shield to protect themselves and teammates in tough situations. Without this, Hulk could also be a bit of a sitting duck, even if with the giant green monster. This quote, we need an awesome focus on capturing the iconic moments that resonate with fans, transforming memorable scenes into playable experiences. Again, we just talked about Star Wars and being in like the Star Wars land, right? Fans of these things just want to live, right? The Indiana Jones game was fantastic because you would love as a kid to be Indiana Jones, and you get to be Indiana Jones, right? To be in Star Wars and Battlefront 2 and play through the Star Wars maps and go through Tatooine or Hoth or the Death Star, right? Like, that is what fans want. The amount of detail that's gone into this game and the amount of passion from the developers to resonate with the fans of even Cap's new skin that just came out. Okay, that's from Infinity War. So he fights like Thanos' glove that slams down on him for the emote and stuff like that. The scene that the MVP scene, right? All of that stuff. Even Wolverine's Deadpool scene where he comes through the bus, right? Just little things like that. We're like, it's so cool, man. That's from this movie. People know where it's from, what issue it's from, what the tagline is, And that's what makes this stuff really cool for fans of the stuff. We've also focused on capturing iconic moments and resonate with fans and transforming memorable scenes into playable experiences. Doctor Strange's signature portals and Spider-Man's web-swinging mechanics exemplify the approach, delivering both authentic character representation and engaging gameplay dynamics. Doctor Strange portals may be technical pain to implement, but the idea to focus on the best parts of the superheroes that are ridiculously cool abilities to works, with approach that also helps heroes and Marvel rivals feel authentic and they're also comic book counterparts, not just the cookie-cutter versions slapped onto a superhero shooter. It's also very hard to put a finger on just why Marvel Rivals has its hooks in me, but also to be proud to admit that the big part of it is probably because playing superheroes is beating up other demigods is just too much fun for its own good. Imagine it being that simple, right? We started off this stream talking about how companies like to make things more complex, and I told a story about on a movie set, people wanted to do CGI, which would have taken thousands and thousands of dollars, when all you had to do was go to the store and buy a 12-pound piece of meat and shove it into a jean leg and then stab it with a scissor to get the same effect. Okay, and a lot of these people don't understand. WB doesn't understand the IPs they have. Hasbro doesn't understand the IPs they have, and they can't make certain things. But all you got to do, make what made it great, right? The reason comic books succeeded is because people love the heroes. The reason people like the movies is because they really respect the live action of the heroes. And now the video game, you get to play as your favorite hero. Hence, full circle, it comes back to around why you should put as many heroes, many characters in this game as possible, and not worry about really the competitive scene. Yes, you can make it competitive. Yes, you can have characters that could be samey in some way, shape, or form. Okay, but if the character feels fun, the power fantasy is I want Hulk to go up against Wolverine. I want to play Magneto and go up against, Professor X if he comes into the game. These are fantasies of fans that would love to play these games because it's just so cool to play that character after all these years, especially adults, right? Kids nowadays are so spoiled as far as they don't even realize what they have in front of them. They just think it's a thing. It's supposed to be there. Where as a kid, I didn't have a Star Wars land. Okay, so when Star Wars Land was made, my kid sees it and goes, "Oh, this is cool," and I'm like, "This is amazing looking," but it's not my Star Wars. Is there a little bit of jealousy there? Sure, okay, but there's a lot there where adults like us, when you like to play, or even mid-20s, 30-year-olds, you get to play what you played as a kid. The little action figures that you were playing with, you actually get to control and operate, and that feels really fucking good, and that's all you need. Just authenticity of what the characters are. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. It's nice to see that the developers are putting a lot of passion into the game, and this is what makes it succeed. Just like the other article we read with Larian Studios talking about if you make it, the money will come. Again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of their videos. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Or let me know what you think in the live chat right now. Thanks for watching. Waterbear says, even the shield's different and the sound's different when you... oh, is it? So he's got 2 shields now, right? One on each arm? Or does he have just on one arm? I didn't really look at the skin. I haven't played this weekend at all. Waterbear says, also, when you do the highlights with the new Cap skin, you get a little bit of the MCU music thrown in it with the highlights. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool stuff. So, okay, he's got 2 on him, Water. Does he use both of them? Or does he only... Because right now he only uses the one. He says, what superhero has the best movie trilogy? I don't like the Tobey Maguire's last Spider-Man. But I also don't like Michael Keaton's was it did he do 3? He did Batman Returns. But he didn't do a 3rd one, right? It's really hard because there are trilogies. There's Tom Holland, right? I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna say Iron Man. Even though I don't like one of the Iron Mans, I think Iron Man's story is the better one. Technically, The Flash is Michael Keaton's third movie. I guess. Captain America was good. Captain America was good. I think I'm gonna go with Iron Man. Warbear says Captain America. Captain America's Winter Soldier or Civil War. Sorry, Civil War is probably giving you guys more. Yeah. You say Winter Soldier was peak. Yeah, that whole Civil War, Winter Soldier, that's what wins you guys over. Yeah. But see, I don't think you could get there without the Iron Man films, right? I don't know. I'll agree with you. I think Captain America's. I like the Iron Man ones. I don't really like the third one though. The third one's always the worst in the trilogy, except for Captain America. The worst one in Captain America is the first one. Civil War was fan service at its finest. Oh, it sure was. Yeah. Have you seen the breakdowns, Water, of the people do that? They're like, oh, this is why these guys won because they had two strategists. They talk about what they had. I was like, that's funny. Eclipse says Blade 2 was awesome. What are you talking about? CGI was very bad, but besides that, it was a good movie. Oh, who said it was a bad movie? El Dente says Marvel 1, Captain America 2, Blade 3, and then Iron Man. See, Blade, the last Blade was also a bad movie. Overall, I guess I see what you're saying. There's always one bad movie in the trilogy. There's never been a trilogy of Superman except the original Christopher Reeves. Salty says, wait, you're trying to say that the first Avenger was bad? For the 3 Captain America movies? Yes. That would be the weakest link. I'm not saying it's bad, Salty. I'm saying it's the worst Captain America movie. Waterbear says Blade Trinity was bad. Wesley didn't like the direction it was going, so he was pissed. Judge Dredd game would be phenomenal. Assassin's trilogy will be done in 20 years. Just wait. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to the trilogy when he's all done, Dolphin. Salty says blasphemy. Okay, so you like the first Avenger better than Civil War. You like first Avenger better than Winter Soldier. And then you have Brave New World. We don't talk about Brave New World, Krebsy, like we don't talk about Ghostbusters or the other Indiana Jones films right now. Yeah, you don't have to do much with Judge Dredd, man. It'll be a pretty simple, straightforward. I like them equally as a Cap buildup. Okay. One of them is worse than the other two. Which one would you pick? You're like, I can't pick. They're all so good. They're all just so perfect. This is not your children. Like 3 kids run the race. One's going to win, one's going to get second, and the other one's going to get third. They're not all equal. Waterbear says Avengers Infinity War was different, 10 out of 10 with the dark openings. I think Infinity War is better than Endgame, but I like the dark endings. That was the Empire Strikes Back of the Avengers films. And best trilogy, I would have to say, would be Avengers. Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. But Infinity War is my favorite movie of those three because I like that. Endgame is my second, and then the first Avengers movie is the worst of those three. But not a bad film. Travis says, as a kid, I hated Empire Strikes Back. As an adult, I think it's the best. Of course it is. There's no other answer. Empire Strikes Back is the best. Endgame, the problem with Endgame is the more you think about Endgame, the worse it gets. Salty says, I can't say it. Salty, I didn't say I didn't not enjoy. What I'm saying is that the original Captain America movie is the worst of the three Captain America movies. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I'm just saying it's the worst Captain America film. What's the worst trilogy? Oh, that's easy. Of like anything? That would be 7, 8, and 9. The worst trilogy. Hands down. Worst trilogy. Yeah, Water Bear. We're like separated at birth. Even though I'm like, I think 10 years older than you. 12 years older than you? Oh, absolutely, Jason. So many plot holes. Still like it. But the more you think about it, like, I got out of the theater, I was like, man, that was a good ending. And then I started thinking about it on the drive home. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense. And then someone else started talking to me, and I was like, oh, God. I was like, the house is starting to crumble. Krebsy says superhero. Jedis are superheroes. Yeah. All right. If I had to pick the worst trilogy for the Marvel or any superhero, oh man, see, these are not trilogies though, right? So like the George Clooney Batman movie was pretty shitty, but he wasn't in 3 of them because like Val Kilmer was in one of them, or he was in 2 of them. I forget. Oh, that's right, Luke. Age of Ultron's there is the 4th one. Well, okay, hold on a second. You're right. I did miss that because I forgot that Endgame and Infinity War technically were one film, but they separated into 2. So that's why I thought there was only 3, right? So there actually is 4. Age of Ultron's better than the original. So it would be Infinity War, Endgame, Ultron, and then the original Avengers. My bad. Right. They never had a trilogy. George did one, Valve did one. So I would say the worst trilogy. I would have to say, well, did he have 4 movies? He had Thor Darkness, Ragnarok, and then Love and Blunder. It's more than a trilogy, but that would be the weakest, I think. All the Thor movies are pretty bad. All of them are pretty bad except Ragnarok, and Ragnarok is good, but still not the best. Travis says, hey, that's my Thor you're using. Yeah. Love and Blunder was an absolute garbage fest. You know, Ragnarok is fun, but it's not good. Titan says Ragnarok is top 5. Top 5? All right, Titan. Let me hear. Not that there's a wrong answer, but let me hear your top 5. If Ragnarok is in top 5, that's got to be 5, right? Worst trilogy is 7, 8, 9. Yeah, but it's got to be a superhero trilogy, Sarge. I can't think of. Okay, so you got Civil War, Winter Soldier, Infinity. First Iron Man film's a good one. Right? The first Iron Man one. Krebsy says, I forgot about Ant-Man. Oh. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't even see the last one, Krebsy. So I totally forgot there was 3 of those. Yeah, I forgot about Ant-Man. Luke brought it up. Ant-Man. Yeah, I totally forgot about Ant-Man. I totally forgot that Ant-Man had a 3rd film. We all collectively agree that Star Wars is 7, 8, 9 is the abomination. Yeah, it's the worst trilogy. Not the worst Star Wars trilogy. Not the worst, like, sci-fi trilogy. It's the worst trilogy in the entire universe of movies that had 3 or more. El Dente says Iron Man, 2, Far From Home, 3, Winter Soldier, 4, Infinity War, 5, Endgame. I would say I'm pretty up there with the same, almost the same, right? Because Iron Man's up there, Winter Soldier. I have Civil War. Wow. I'm trying to think. I like the Spider-Mans, but yeah, I'm gonna have to put. It's Iron Man, 2 Caps, and then 2 Avengers. Travis says, worst duology. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I haven't seen them, but I'll just default to that. Sounds good. Worst how many movies does Transformers have? 7? That's the worst. That's the worst 6 movies in a row. 7 movies in a row. Right. That's exactly what I said, El Dente. I like Infinity more than Endgame because it's got that Empire feel. Yeah, agreed, Dolphin. Matter of fact, I might watch that today. Why not? Luke says Infinity War, No Way Home, Iron Man, Civil War, Ragnarok. That's my top 5. See, Ragnarok, 7 includes Bumblebee, the last one. Bumblebee's the best one. Bumblebee Titan is the best Transformers movie. Did Titan give me his list? He didn't give me his list. He said Ragnarok's in his top 5. All comic book movies. The Watchmen is my first. Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Infinity War. You know what? The Guardians of the Galaxy, for a trilogy, they have a pretty strong trilogy. They got a pretty strong trilogy. They're all fun. I wonder what they have. You know, now, see, we're going down the rabbit hole. Do I have the rabbit hole?
Oh, where I land, I do not know. But here I fall down the rabbit's hole.
All right, we're going down the rabbit hole here. Let's see. Ranked by the tomato meter. Let's go to Okay. I disagree with this 100%. Okay. Black Panther is the number one based on by the score, 96. Black Panther not even close as number 1 for me. You got Endgame, which is after that. Then you have Iron Man. Then you have Ragnarok. Ragnarok is 4th overall. Ragnarok would probably be in my 7th or 8th spot, I think. 7th or 8th spot for me. Right? Then you got Spider-Man No Way Home. You know what? We should do a stream. You know where you sort them and you put them in the tier list? We should do that one day. That's what we should do. All right, so we got 4 or 5. 5 is Spider-Man No Way Home. You got Spider-Man Homecoming in their 6th spot. Again, this is by the 92% of the people. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy, 92%. I just bit my tongue, mother. Spider-Man Far From Home. Wow, they have all 3 films in the top 10. Avengers, number 9. God, that's my least favorite. I love it at the time, right? Because at the time, seeing the Avengers for the first time in 2012, that's when you got the Hulk. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, this is going to be awesome. And then they shit on him. Then they shit on the Hulk for the next decade. Yeah, they shit on him for the next decade. Okay. Shang-Chi, number 10. Get out of here. This movie didn't even have 3 acts, let alone to make number 10. Okay? Literally missing the 3rd act. The 3rd act was complete and utter garbage. Okay? This movie would have been so much better if it was about Wenwu. Civil War is number 11 at 90. This is when you know a lot of people don't understand politics or comics. This is like... This is in the top 5. Captain America Winter Soldier, that's number 12. Doctor Strange, number 13. Ant-Man at number 14. Are you telling me Ant-Man and the Wasp got a higher rating than Avengers Infinity War? Oh my God. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Can't take this list seriously. You put Ant-Man and the Wasp ahead of Infinity War. Then you have Guardians of the Galaxy, number 16. War of Wakanda, number 17. 18 is Ant-Man. 19 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Deadpool. Okay, rising, the number 20. Captain America, the First Avengers, 21. Okay, we got Marvel, Captain Marvel at 22. Black Widow at 23. Iron Man 3 at 24. Thor, the first Thor, 25. Avengers Age of Ultron is 26. Iron Man 2 is 27. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is 28. Thor Dark World 29. The Dark World probably is one of my least favorites of all time. One of my least favorite movies of all time. But Love and Blunder surpassed that. So, and there it is, 31st. And then you got the Marvels, which I haven't seen, at 32. The Eternals, which I did see, which is awful. Awful. Okay, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, is at the bottom of the barrel at 46%. Worse than the Eternals. So, okay, all right. without seeing anything of Captain America: Brave New World, where do we think it raises here? Okay, I think fans, it's got to be higher than Eternals, right? I think it falls right between here. I think it goes between like 32 and 33. Maybe it beats Love and Blunder. Maybe to get to like the 30th spot between 30 and 31. So it gets like the 31 spot. Sarge says above Eternals. Travis says above the Marvels. El Dente says I fully agree. Yeah, I think it falls somewhere here, right? Between Love and Thunder, Marvels, and Eternals. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be worse than Ant-Man. Right? I think it's going to be like right here. Okay? I think that's pretty safe to say. It's got to be better than the Marvels? It doesn't have to be. Titan says, I'm conflicted. I want it to be good. All right, well then where do you think it goes? I'm doing a lot. I'm not even basing it just on the movie, Titan. I'm basing it on like the way it feels right now, right? People are still hesitant about Marvel films. Drummond, I despise Michael Bay's Transformers. Those are not Transformers. Those are an abomination to Transformers. That's why Bumblebee is the best one, because it's the one that's closest to the source of the original Transformers. And I'm not a G1 purist here. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I just look, the people that argue with me about Suicide Squad not being, direct, I totally understand that. The people that talk about movies that they're not, the source material is not close to the characters, I totally get it. Transformers, out of all the things that are happening, the Michael Bay's Transformers are the farthest possible from any source material. Like, yeah, they're just robots. That's where he ended. He didn't take anything else into account. Remember, guys, that this is the Captain America movie that you guys are going to be watching. Hold on, let me get back to it. Okay, this is the one. We'll jump to present. This is what Disney's selling you. This is the movie that they didn't advertise during the Super Bowl. Okay, they didn't advertise during the Super Bowl, and they had this posting where Anthony Mackie is not even on the poster in China. Okay? Not even on the poster in China. So I don't know how you spin it. I don't think that this movie does better than this. Okay? I just don't see it happening. Water Bear says we'll see how this phase stacks up. All I can say. Look, I hope it's good. I hope they turn the corner. I hope it starts making good movies. You gonna watch Born Again? Nomi and Grandma are going to. Just curious. Born Again. Which one is that? That's. Oh, the Daredevil one. Yeah. I'll give it a shot. Like Born Again. I didn't realize that Ant-Man was so hated. 4 reshoots. That's right. 4 reshoots. And the actor is missing off of the poster. Red Hulk is fighting the silhouette of said person that does not look like Anthony Mackie. Salty says they made Optimus Prime just a killing machine with anger issues, and Hot Rod a French dude. Fuck them movies. It was a car show. Yeah. Yeah. I do not. I despise Michael Bay's. posted it in Discord 30. What is that? Robot Chicken, Michael Bay making new Transformers. Yeah, I'm not going to show that though. Just call it Red Hulk. 4 reshoots. I thought they said 2. Nope, it's 4. 4 reshoots. All right, the last topic we're going to talk about, and you know we love our surveys here. You know we love our surveys here. Hey, I don't know how many people they surveyed, and survey says, okay. Okay. New survey reveals that almost 80% of the devs don't test their games enough before launch. Call me shocked. Who would have thought? Never would have seen this coming, huh, chat? I would have never seen this coming. Okay. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. All right, so a new survey reveals almost 80% of the devs don't test their games out enough before launch. Okay. So, Model.ai, an AI-driven company that does QA for video games, detects bugs, performance issues, and more, just published a new study regarding gaming Q&A. The study, which involved almost 300 professional developers from the U.S., revealed that a staggering 77% of developers don't do sufficient Q&As for their titles. Why does this matter? Despite such a big budget, video games have been released as an underwhelming state full of bugs. This new study shows that revealing a lack of Q&A tests for those hundreds of millions of dollars of games. Fine. It looks fine. It looks fine. I got it. Can we get that off the screen? What is happening here? Okay. So this wasn't only a statistic revealed from the study of 70.3% of participants revealed that had never launched a bug-free game. However, the reason why is so that more interesting. 50% of the responders claim that QA budgets aren't increasing on par with the complexity of the modern day development, which are increased scale and cost more manpower and budgets. We don't want to spend more money on stuff. We'll just have you test it, right? We don't want to raise our side of the cost, even though we're raising video games to $70, $100, $120, right? $120. This is the reason why modern titles launch in such a buggy state. Despite hundreds of millions of dollars allocated to the budget, Star Wars Outlaws cost around $200 to $300 million, but was still launched in such a subpar state full of bugs. Similarly, the likes of Starfield had plenty of bugs at release. Starfield was in the best shape of other ones, right? Those situations partly to blame of the actual development process, which has become so complex over the years. For example, the notorious Unreal Engine 5 has been known to ruin video game development. Fantastic. Well, Transformers Reactivate got canceled because they were using Unreal Engine 5. There was other games that use Unreal Engine 5. They also got canceled. Plus, there's been plenty of bugs and glitches because of Unreal Engine 5 as well. But fixing all these problems late into development costs so much manpower and budget that it just isn't sustainable before the release. So do you know what I hear, chat? I hear upper management and people that don't know how to manage money, right? So what's happening here is you're putting the product out, and really they can't get it below, because if the developers are costing too much, if the heads of the studio are getting too much, if the heads of the studio and the management don't know what the hell they're doing to manage the actual employees they need, and they just run amok with the amount of money, right? So Q&A is out the door. So this should prove to you, obviously it's only a small section, but 77% of people, or 77% of the developers, don't test their games out in time for launch. Don't pre-order. Okay? So to combat this, AI-driven Q&A is taking over. 94% of the 300 developers believe that AI is the future of shaping Q&A for video games and catching bugs and performance issues. However, currently, only 18% of the participants are ready to integrate AI across their development. Okay? So there you go. AI will be the savior of testing games for us. So, question, Do you think that they're going to lower the price of video games because an actual person's not going to be doing it and AI is going to be doing it? Or do you think that, well, the AI system is very hard and complicated to do, and to integrate this, it's going to be cost really expensive, and games are going to go up to $80, $90, $100? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think in the live chat. But these are just my thoughts. I think they are going to raise the prices just the same because you can't go backwards. They're never going backwards. We're never, ever going to see a $60 video game again as part of the mainstream stuff. You're never going to see a QA group of people getting paid money. It's just going to go to AI. That is what is behold for the future. But again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you like what I do here, check out some of other videos. Thanks for watching. The Seal commercial looked better than that Abomination. Sorry, bro, I need to channel where you watch Dev Diaries. You give subtitles. Eclipse says, I mean, look up Multiverses. It switched to Unreal Engine 5, and it was in a real bad state, and it was the worst than the open beta. Yeah. I'm looking forward to all these Unreal Engine 5 games. Travis says, yep, gaming had a good fun, guys. 95%. Or was it 90%? 94%. 94% of developers think it's the future, but only 18% are using it right now. How does that work? Percentage-wise, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I'm confused. All right, let's go to Twitter and see what's happening on Twitter today. Twitter. Oh, you guys, I can't play it. There's no sound happening. We have no audio for the actual, or what's it called? I have no audio for any of the sound effects, huh? Can you guys hear this song? Now, how do you lower production costs? Yeah, you fire people. Okay, so you can hear the song. My program is fucked. From when it happened earlier today, I can't hear or see levels except for just my audio for my audio for my microphone. That's it. Thanks. All right, well, this is the part of the show where I'm what's it called? Where I go down and look at Twitter, see if there's any news stories. So I saw this. So I follow Eric July. Eric July is the person that does the Ripperverse, which does the comics and stuff. And he posted. Let me see if I can. So this weekend. Okay, this weekend at the comic show, they had all the super guys. Anyone that played Superman, voice-wise or live action, was at this convention, right? I wasn't there because it was a different night, a day that I couldn't go. But they had all the super. I think it was Saturday night, and then I think it was Game Rant or Screen Rant ran a picture where. What do you notice? What's the difference here, guys? Right. So look at this picture. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I don't know if you guys follow Screen Rants and Game Rant and stuff like that, but they lean one side to the other. Okay? Well, Dean Cain here is very open about who he voted for and whatnot. Okay? And Game Rant literally chopped him out They cropped him out. Okay, they cut Dean Cain out of the picture. So, I fixed it. Hey, I posted a picture of him. I think other people have done it as well. Okay, but I posted a picture where I put him on there. Okay, like, what the fuck are you doing, Screen Rant? Right? They literally chopped Dean Cain out. Right? They did. They cut him off. You see? Even this picture is off. They cut him off completely. Isn't that crazy? They cut him off because of the way he votes, Dolphin. And people think we make this shit up. Right? How petty are you that the panel, it's a Superman panel about all the super guys. All the guys that played Superman, voice-wise, right? Smallville, everybody. Everyone's there that was in any type, except Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill wasn't there, right? We're all there. And yet, they cut him out. Why? Dumb. Clip says, "Who cares what you voted for? Nothing to do with the person." Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so ridiculous. Even Dean Can's like, he's like, those bastards cut me out. It's just dumb. Let me see what else. I love Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. Yeah, I love that show. Let's see. Roblox is involved in an active investigation by the U.S. Securities, and Exchange Commission, according to the new report. Interesting. We'll add that to the list. Let's see here. Right, we're the evil ones. Usually the ones that yell the loudest, Travis, are the ones that with the most to hide. February 21st is when Human Torch and The Thing are coming into, so a couple more weeks. A couple more weeks for the rest of the Fantastic Four to come into the game. See what else is going on. What's this? Technical playtest is just around the corner starting today. A crime-themed PvPvE first-person extraction shooter. Players will be breaking in. It's called Akami Studios Outlawed. Fucking loud. Let me start this over for you guys. This is an extraction shooter that's coming out. So this will be this week's extraction shooter to come out. I can't wait for Marathon. Yeah, you got all these other extraction shooters coming out. Dolphin says, over or under on The Thing is just a Hulk clone. I'm gonna say under. I don't think he's gonna be a Hulk clone. This is like a better version of like BattleBit Remaster, but it's an extraction. I'm not an extraction guy, but this looks interesting. So Outlawed. So the play test happens on February 14th. Let me see here. ChatGPT, 10 times over 12 months and lower prices led to more and more. Okay. Oh, I forgot to bring it up in the beginning of the show. I mean, it's up there as far as the goal stuff goes for inside of YouTube. I don't know really how to use the goal stuff. I put stuff there. If you guys are interested, you're interested. What I'm going to do is anytime someone does a super chat, I'm going to put it in like a sort of like a jar, basically. Obviously, not a physical jar. But anytime someone gives me a super chat, it's going to go towards the new computer fund, basically. So this year, sometime down the road, maybe we'll have enough to get a new computer because this one's 8 years old. Having issues with it, as you can tell, like earlier today. So if you give super chats into this channel, that's where it's going to go towards. It's not going to go towards anything else. The super chats are all going to go towards a new computer whenever I decide we can get one. So, and then the ad revenue and everything else that happens with the memberships that goes towards me. Channel. Travis says, "Wait, Marathon, the new Bungie game? Yeah, that's an extraction shooter. That's not what that is, Travis. What I'm saying is there's other extraction shooters already coming out, and then on top of that, like you have the other one from people that made the finals. Arc Raiders is another extraction shooter. Marathon's an extraction shooter. You got that one is an extraction shooter. Lots of extraction shooters coming out in the next couple months. Plus, then you have supposedly there's going to be an extraction shooter in the new Battlefield game, and so on and so forth. So." What else we got here? Classified Resident Evil 6 for Xbox Series X and S and the ESRB, now rated Resident Evil 5 for current gen consoles 2. So apparently it looks like Resident Evil 6 is getting ESRB'd for Xbox. Steam is banning all games that require watching advertisements to play. So that's getting booted off there. Another update for Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah, Steam keeps getting wins. Eclipse. Kingdom Come Deliverance had a huge weekend on Steam. What do they have? What is the concurrent? 150,000 players concurrent on Kingdom Come Deliverance on Steam. Oh, no. It rose from 176,000 to 190,000. 190,000 concurrent on February 7th. All right. I think that's it. All right. We'll be back tonight for some gaming over on the other channel, 30 and Still Gaming. All our gaming is going over on 30 and Still Gaming. Don't worry about like doing a membership or anything over there. It's just our gameplay at night. If you want to come do a live stream, just come on over to a 30 and Still Gaming channel. What's it called? We're gonna be playing Eternal Stranded. We're gonna try that tonight. Haven't played it yet. We've been pushing it off for like 2 weeks now. So do I want to go play? Want to go see that gameplay? Come on about tonight. We'll be playing that tonight. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for some more of the daily grind. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixel small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. We're nitty tuned in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Controller ready, headset too. We've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning blaze, we cover gaming all the ways. Controller ready, headset too. We've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Laughs and news, our winning blend, the show with you, our dearest friend. Comments rolling, chats alive, the daily grind, 5-star vibe. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Good morning, sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixel small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Come on in, your morning